Hey guys, it's Kate. Welcome to another speed build. In this speed build, I'm building a family home on a 40 by 40 lot in Brindleton Bay, and as you can see, I used the brand new terrain tools for this build. And I'm so excited that the update has finally arrived. I have been waiting for this for so long, just as all of you probably have. It's just such an amazing addition to this game. And I simply started by building a hill so I could build a house on the elevation. And after that, I started to modify the terrain a little bit more. But first I wanted to see into which direction I would be heading with the house. And here you can see how I built the general shape of the house. I decided to build a very traditional, cute family home. Get Famous is going to arrive very soon, and I'm planning to build some great mansions and just celebrity mansions, stuff like this. But before this, I felt like building a very classic and simple, cute family home, because I'm probably not going to build something like this for the next builds at least, and I just felt like doing this. And I used a combination of different materials for the facade, and I decided to use a very warm color for the roof, and I combined some bricks with some wood, and I think it turned out so cute. And as you can see, I used some chimneys in the front to create some custom columns, and here I'm using shelves to create a unique front for the roofing. So I didn't use the outline, the edge that you can use for the roofs by default at the front, but I simply used some shelves and I left the center part open, and I think it looks so cute. I've never done this before, but I think it looks very cool, and I just love the blue wallpaper that is part of Cats and Dogs. And as you can see, I decided to use some white flowers just to make it look even more dreamy and a little bit fairy tale like, but not too much. And as I said, I just built a little elevation, a little hill, and then I made the top completely flat, so I was able to add a house on top. I have to say, I didn't really have a lot of time to play around with this. I was planning to stop building right away yesterday, but then I had to reinstall Windows and The Sims, so I lost a few hours of tinkering around with it. So I just started really doing this today, and I just kept it very simple. I was planning to build some cascading flower beds, which I did, as you will see. And I have been looking forward for this for a while. I have a lot of stuff planned that I want to build with the terrain tools, but this is something very simple and cute that you would see in real life that I have been looking forward to. So I decided to keep it simple and just to do something like this for my first ever terrain build. I'm definitely planning to build some bigger and more extreme things in the future, but I'm going to take my time for this. And as I said, I was just able to start playing around with it today, so I kept it simple. Here I'm working on the shape of the flower beds, and I'm adding some rocks to the side. Unfortunately, we are not able to change the front, the slope. You can't change the color of this terrain, so I just, of course, left it brown. I used our old friend, the base game debug brick. It's not even a brick, but it looks like a brick, and I love to use these for flower beds and curved paths, and so I decided to just add them at the top, and I created the curve with the terrain tool, as you just saw. I'm going to switch a few things up later. Eventually I didn't like the purple flowers, so I changed some things up. Now, after playing around with it a little bit, I have to say that I really love how the terrain tool works in this game. It's very simple. Sometimes it can be very tricky to modify terrain in different games. There are multiple games that come to my mind, and I think even in the other Sims games it wasn't that easy to change the terrain, but I feel like it's very intuitive and simple to do it here. What I especially like is that it's very simple to flatten the terrain, so you have one plane where you can just build on top. I really like this. This just makes it so simple. You can just elevate part of the terrain, and then you just make it flat and you have the same height in one specific area, or maybe even on the whole lot. I really like this, and what I also love is that you can not only bulldoze the lot, but that we are also able to simply flatten the whole terrain and to undo it all. There are two different options for that now, and as I mentioned before, I had to reinstall Windows and The Sims, but this time around I installed The Sims in English, so whenever I'm making tutorials, for example, and when I'm showing you something, it's now all in English. And it's also good because there are just some things that have a specific or even funny name in the game, and even if I translate it, it may not be the correct word for it. You know, there are like different words for one object, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what the original name in the English version is, but now it's just English, and I'm very happy about that. It just makes things easier, especially for tutorials or when I just want to mention the name of a specific object so you guys can find it in the search, or sometimes you were asking me what is this and that object and stuff like this. It's just so much easier. But I was so stressed out yesterday. I was just looking forward so much to build, and then it just took ages to download because my internet isn't really the best at the moment, and it was I was sad, but now it's all good, and I'm looking forward to create huge builds with this terrain tool. I think it's such a cool addition in general, because when you think about it, for most builds it just makes it more realistic, because of course you can have a lot of fun with terrain tools, and I also plan to build some crazy huge builds, as I said, but even though we can now create, I don't know, a house on a huge hill, or we can build cool bridges between two hills and stuff like that, and we can create canyons, and we can add a pool in the middle so it looks like a river, stuff like that. But you can also use these tools for the most realistic, beautiful builds, because most houses just have some kind of terrain going on, even if it's just a tiny little slope at the front, for example. I mean, in real life the terrain is not always 100% flat, even if you're just using it for some small elevations, for some flower beds, not the way that I did here. This is more on the crazy side if you compare to real life. There are not many houses that look like this, but I think it's just a cool addition. No matter if you are into creating creative, crazy builds, or if you just like to keep things very realistic, this tool it's a game changer really for this game. I have been playing since The Sims 1, and I just love every Sims game so much, but Sims 4 is my favorite of all of them, because I think that building is just the most fun in this game, and this is just the last thing that was missing, I would say, and now it's just perfect, and I just can't wait to build more with this and to figure things out, because I think that there is definitely a learning curve to this. As I said earlier, it can be tricky to manipulate terrain, and I think that terrain tools in general just kind of have the reputation of being a little bit more on the tricky side, and I've also seen people talk about it and they said, okay, I'm just going to ignore this, I was never good with terrain tools. But I would encourage anyone to just try it out and to have some fun with it, because first of all, I think it's very simple in The Sims 4. They did a great job, and I also think that there's just a learning curve to it. I mean, no one built perfect houses on day one of the release, probably. You know, you just have to figure out the controls and how it all works, and just tinker around with it a little bit. And I'm definitely looking forward to do that and to figure things out a little bit more. At first I was also a little bit confused, even though, as I said, I think it's well done in a way of it not being too tricky, but you have to practice a little bit. And as you can see here, I'm working on the interior. I decided to keep the interior very classic and traditional, because on the outside it just looks like a very classic family home, maybe a suburban little mansion or something that you would see in a rural area. It just looks very rustic, you could say, and I wanted to continue the theme on the inside, but I also included some objects and floors that are more on the modern inside, so I try to have a nice combination going on. And this house has 2 bedrooms and 1 nursery. You could of course always use the nursery as a normal kids room or something, but I just felt like including a nursery because the room is more on the smaller side, as you will see, and I thought that it would be a cute addition. I haven't done this in a while, so I just added a cute little nursery, and I used yellow for it, so it's gender neutral, I guess you could say, and you can just keep it like that or switch up the colors. As always, I'm going to include all the information for the gallery down below, so you can download this lot if you want and play with it and have some fun. I'm so looking forward to try out all the other new stuff, the new influencer career, and the first person view. I didn't even have the time to try all these things, and I'm so excited to do that. I'm going to do that right after recording this, when I'm done with this video. I'm so excited. Let me know down below what you enjoy the most about this update, and tell me what you've tried out and what you still have to try out, and just let me know what you think about the update. And I'm sure you are all excited for Get Famous. I know I am. It's just happening so much recently. The update and Get Famous and all the exciting news about Get Famous and all the exclusive footage that we got to see that the game changes recorded. I don't know, just so much going on in The Sims Forward, and it's just exciting times at the moment, and I just can't wait to play Get Famous. And I don't even know if I'm going to recreate some kind of real life star or if I'm going to create some fictional Sim star that I'm making up. I don't know, it's just so interesting. I think it's going to spice things up. I think the cool thing is that you can just create some storylines yourself and in your head, that you can make up some lovely stories. And I think that this pack is just giving us more opportunities to do this. I mean, in The Sims, I think many people enjoy building huge houses and love to have successful Sims that become richer and richer and that have just made it in the Sims world and all that stuff. And I think that having famous Sims is just a lovely addition. I mean, it's just something that was missing so far, and it will be definitely a lot of fun, I'm sure. In other news, it was my birthday on Sunday, and I had a lovely day with a lot of cake, too much cake. And later we went to the movies to watch Halloween, and it's so great. I just love 80s horror movies like Halloween or A Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like this. It's just a lot of fun, and I think that they really captured this whole 80s atmosphere, and there was also a lot of comedic relief. It's such a great movie. And after that we went out for dinner and had some sushi. Again, it was too much sushi, and then we just had them pack it into a doggy bag for us so we could take it with us, because it was just too much, and I just love sushi. It was great. It was all in all a very fun and chill day. I think it's such a cool coincidence that the expansion packs are oftentimes released right on my birthday, around my birthday. I think that Cats and Dogs last year was released on November 10th, one day before my birthday, and I didn't play it. I don't know, I just wanted to have a chill day simming on my birthday last year, and I waited until November 11th to play it, and I was so impatient. But I don't know, just wanted to look forward to it and just to have a nice simming day, and it was a lot of fun. And this year it's again very close to my birthday, and this is a very cool belated birthday present that I'm going to make myself. It will be amazing to play Get Famous. So this is it, guys. This speed build is slowly coming to an end. I hope that you had a lot of fun, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any constructive criticism, or if you just want to tell me something, just comment down below and I will get back to you, I promise. And I included some screenshots at the end, and I hope that I see you in the next video. Hopefully the next video will already be a lovely Get Famous build. I'm so excited to build a celebrity mansion, I guess. I don't know, we will see what I'm going to build, but I am looking forward to it so much. And yeah, I hope I see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Bye bye.